This is Tim Albright with AVNation, with an AVNation special celebrating International Women's Day the entire month of March. Why? Because there's some really kick-ass women in this industry, and I didn't want to just put them on one day. That's why. And it's my show, and I can do it. With me today is a very dear friend of mine that I have known for a number of years, Penny Sitler from Draper. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. I love being here. I love getting to talk to you.
I love it
Thanks
too.
so much for doing this.
Due east of me on Highway 70 in Fruitland, Indiana. If you're not familiar, I'm in St. Louis. You jump on 70 here in St. Louis, and you go that way for about 4.5, 5 hours, and you'll run right into Penny in Fruitland. So,
Spiceland.
Spiceland. What? Fruitland is in Missouri. Spiceland, Indiana. Fruitland, Missouri. It's in my head. All right. Mitchell can either cut that out or just make me sound like the idiot I am. I don't care what he does. Let's start with a couple of things. And what we're doing here is, we're talking about how all of us got in, or how, you got in the industry. So let's start with that conversation. You are, again, Indiana, Spiceland, Indiana, which is the heart of Draper. If you've never been there, it is, I'm not going to quite call Spiceland a company town, but Draper is the biggest industry there. At least it feels that way. I could be wrong about that. How did you get involved? How did you get into the industry?
So Draper is almost as big as the town.
Okay.
Company town wouldn't be right, but yeah, we are by far the biggest thing here. And I got into it by growing up into it. I grew up right in the community. My father had a business relationship with the owner of this factory in town, and it was known as one of the best, even then, as one of the best employers in the area. So here I come to graduating from high school, and I'm preparing to go to college, and I need a summer job, and Dad says, you should apply at Draper. And so it started as summer help, putting together sample swatch cards and helping out what wasn't yet a marketing department, but working for the marketing manager, who was John Pigeon at that time. And I've just been here ever since.
Well, talk about that and talk about growing up there, right? And growing up in not just the industry, but growing up with a family-owned company like Draper. And you and I have had this conversation, but Draper's over 100 years old, still ran by the family. Talk about the importance of that and the ability for them to make certain decisions, during good times, but as well as during some of the harder times you guys have had over the last 100 years.
Yeah, Draper really has been a wonderful place to work, and was long before I got here, because it's this family-owned business, and it has had the great good fortune of always having people running the business who were able to plan ahead, who were responsible to their community, who had no interest in selling out, taking the money and running. They are committed to the company and its employees and the community and the industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
We actually work in multiple industries, but AV is very important to us.
Well, and that's one of the things that
So it's a great place to be.
Yeah, folks don't understand and about Draper is that they are in several different aspects, both in education, in several different parts of education. Not only people know Draper now for the LED and the direct view LED mounts, but also for projection screens. But you also find them in the sports complex, in the backboards and things of that nature. So that's one thing that people don't necessarily, if you know them from AV, you may not know them from the other aspects of it. Talk for a second about,
right.
Yeah, talk for a second about the growing up, as a woman in this industry and being a part of it from a young woman, and maybe some of the challenges, not necessarily at Draper, but throughout the industry, you've been to several trade shows. But some of the challenges and hurdles that you've had to face and how you overcame them.
I've, well, the point when I came to Draper was way back in, that was 1978 when I first came in the door. So it's been a very long time. Um, I did, after having enjoyed my time as summer help, I thought I would just offer the management a chance to critique my resume when I began my search at the end of college, and that critique turned very quickly into an offer. And so I have been here for 39 years, and the business landscape has changed. Gender equity has changed during that time, especially here at Draper. So I've seen a lot change. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate that the company was ready to change with the times. So I'm content with having had this opportunity to start in marketing communications and spending part of my time taking phone calls. And some people that have been in the industry for a really long time probably remember me on the other end of a sales line. And to gradually begin to develop with the company as we added more products, more advanced into the new technology opportunities as marketing has changed. When I came, there was actually no computer in the building, let alone an internet.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd be here a few years and it would be a good first step, and that when I got bored, I'd move on. But I didn't need to. All the opportunities for growth that I was looking for actually came to me here. And I feel like I've been very lucky. I listen to the stories that many other young women tell today, and I didn't have some of the tough experiences they have had. I was given an opportunity to grow. Sometimes I would have liked to grow faster, but there was always an opportunity, a new opportunity in front of me.
That's awesome. Let's talk a second about your involvement with other women, and not just necessarily, but with women of AVIXA. But let's start there. You were one of the first leaders, one of the first chairs of the AVIXA
Hmm.
Women's Council, helping it grow, helping it expand, regionalize, which is part of its growth as well. Talk for a second about the need for mentorship, for leadership, within the AV industry, and especially by women, for the women in the industry.
Oh, thanks. This is where my heart has been. I had I learned much more about AVIXA when I was fortunate to be named Woman of AV.
Yeah.
And through that experience, I started saying, I want to volunteer. And first thing I know, I had attended the very first Women's Council breakfast, different name at that time because it was before the AVIXA rebranded. But attended that first breakfast, and I was excited about the potential of the council. And then when it came time for the second year of the council, I was offered the opportunity to chair it, and I really was thrilled. It was pretty much a brand new group. There was a lot of opportunity there and such a need. And the exciting thing about leading that group was that the women were so ready for opportunities to do more, to connect in the industry. There was, I, all I had to do was open the door and the association. and here they come flooding in. They want to join. They want to work it on in new ways, and I was able to help build that for 3 years, and then when it was time for a new leader, Brandy picked up, and she was really ready to run and build on what we had started. And it has been so exciting to be part of offering this new kind of opportunity to women in the industry who have, I think, often struggled to build their networks. And it was a good opportunity for me to build mine as well.
Why do you think it's been difficult for women to build their network in the industry?
Well, in my case, I'm out in the sticks, you know. Maybe we won't say that exactly. But for me, some of it was location.
Yeah.
I'm in a small town. I'm not near other people in AV outside my own colleagues. And um, yeah, there's Infocom, but I didn't have much opportunity to connect between times. So the council, big opportunity. Other volunteer opportunities with AVIXA have been very helpful for me in building my own network in the industry and just getting to know people and their roles and their needs and how we can help.
Do you think technology has helped that networking capability? I mean, you mentioned the fact that when you started at Draper, there wasn't even a computer in the building, let alone the internet. I think back to my mom who was an office manager and an accountant for many years, who also didn't have a computer when she started working. But looking and having those connections, she didn't start having her main networking connection until, like you said, it was trade shows, it was organizations, it was councils. Now,
Mhm.
if you put Penny Sitler from when she started in her in the industry, and you placed her here today, do you think she would have had an easier time networking because of the technology that we have?
Well, LinkedIn's big.
Yeah.
Yes, there's the social media. Gosh, when I opened Draper's first social media account, it wasn't too long after that I met you and a whole bunch of other people. found the AV tweeps, and that was huge.
Yeah.
And that was 2009, not so many years ago.
No.
Uh, but yeah, my doors started really opening in that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. Penny, when I've asked a couple of folks this, and so I want you to take a look back, and again, one of the first chairs of the AVIXA Women's Council. You've been involved in the industry for a number of years. You're not retiring. You're not close to retiring yet. But when you get there, I want you to look back and tell me, what do you want to see has that's changed in the industry before you leave?
It would be nice not to need a women's council, that we would really all connect so openly that gender was no longer an issue in any way. Um, I don't know that that's achievable before I retire. There's still some expectation of what the women's roles will be. I can still look around the Women's Council and say, well, in terms of the roles in AV, we're a little clustered. There's a lot of us in marketing. Um, I love to see a lot of women taking more of the technical and engineering roles, but there's a lot of room yet to advance in that. Um, yeah, I think that the way that things need to advance is a little less pigeonholing and a little broader opportunity for everyone to whether it's design and engineering and corporate leadership.
Very good. Penny Sitler from Draper. Thank you, ma'am. How do people get a hold of you or Draper if they are so inclined?
Oh, happy to hear from everyone. Draper, our website is draperinc.com. We are active on social media. And if you message our social media accounts, it will get to me. If you want to email me, you can look me up on that website. And I am happy to talk with anybody in the industry, and especially, if someone would like some mentoring conversation or compare notes, or I'm here, I'm interested.
Very good. Penny Sitler from Draper. Thank you so much for us. For AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. You'll find this program and a host of others, including our 2 weeklies, AV Week that looks at the commercial side and Resi Week that looks at the residential side. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.